Hi guys, thank you for joining me on another fragrance video. Trying to get a few of these done currently, and we have moved on to a fragrance that I've had in my collection for quite some time now. I think I've had it about 3 years. This fragrance is one that I felt had been on the market for quite some time. Actually, when I've researched it, it hasn't been around for as long as I thought it had. My initial thoughts was this fragrance has been around for about 7-8 years. In actual fact, it was released in 2015, so still 5 years, still quite a long time in the fragrance community given how fast fragrance releases come out. So been around for a while, but one that's not talked about possibly as much as it should be. Now, to give you the background information, well, you can see in front of you, you can see from the title description, this is Prada Luna Rossa Sport from Prada. It is a flanker in the Luna Rossa range. And it's also from Luna Rossa Sport. She's the nose of this, like she is with the rest of the line, like she is with many Prada fragrances that tend to be, you know, summer, daytime, soapy fragrances, because that really is their key area. Just to give you the overview of this fragrance, at the top you have ginger and juniper berries. In the middle there is lavender. Then at the base there is tonka bean and vanilla. So not a huge range of different notes there. But the thing that really stands out with this one is the lavender and the vanilla. Now they're two of the main notes in a fragrance that's been around for a long time that this one is often compared to. That fragrance is Le Male from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier. Now that was a monstrous fragrance back in the 90s, not so much now as I've mentioned several times in other videos. And this one has a similar vibe. Now, some reviewers on YouTube have said that this is basically just Le Male light. I can see where they're coming from, but that's not a view that I entirely endorse, because I do think that this is a little bit different. If anything, if I was going to compare this to another fragrance, I would compare this to 212 Sexy Men from Carolina Herrera, which also is compared to Le Male, but they're not Le Male, they're something different. They are very much fragrances in their own right. Yes, okay, they work on the same kind of blueprint, but I personally, if I smelled somebody wearing this, I wouldn't think that's Le Male. I would think that's something a little bit similar to Le Male that's not Le Male, if that makes sense. Just to give you, like I said, a bit of background, so the vanilla and the lavender are really the key notes in this. Now the vanilla gives it kind of softness that offsets the fresh lavender, and it gives you kind of, dare I say, detergent sort of kind of vibe. It's very nice, it's very clean, but also a little bit warm and cozy as well. If there's something a little bit misleading with this fragrance, it is the title, because it's called Luna Rossa Sport. So you'd think it's a sport fragrance, it's going to be uber fresh, it's going to be zesty, it's going to be, you know, it's going to go on lime, citrus, it's going to be a very light, kind of summery fragrance. This isn't really that. This is something different. It's more of a, it has a spicy element, like I say, it has that warm coziness to it. It's kind of fluffy. Fluffy, is that? I don't know if that's the right terminology, but it's certainly not that kind of zingy, fresh fragrance that you would expect with something that has sport in the title. Now that's not to say that you couldn't wear it as a sort of all-round versatile daytime fragrance, because you absolutely could. But the title spot's misleading, because I certainly wouldn't wear this to the gym, for example, because I think it is a little bit more amped up than what you would need in that environment. Personally, I don't think you should wear fragrances at the gym at all. You shouldn't want to smell good when you're sweating. The only thing you should smell of in the gym, to quote, I think Floyd Mayweather said something similar, and that's hard work. But you know, like I say, it's not a gym fragrance, but it is certainly something that you could wear through the daytime. Probably not in the highest of heat, but it's not going to be offensive. It's not going to knock somebody out, even if you did. Although it will probably permeate a little bit more than it should do for that kind of situation. Anyway, what else can we say about this fragrance? Season. I would say it's probably more sort of spring, maybe autumn sort of fragrance. Not really a summer one. Like I say, you can wear it if you want it in the heat. I wouldn't recommend it. I would wear it more when it's a little bit cooler. I think it is office friendly though. Longevity, pretty similar to all of the Prada fragrances. The longevity is good without being amazing. And in that respect, what I mean is you probably get 5, maybe 6, at a push 7 hours out of it, nothing beyond that really. And again, like the Luna Rossa Sport fragrance that I reviewed earlier in the week, it has that kind of everything in the first hour and a half and then tone down gradually kind of thing. You will really get whiffs of this after spraying it in the first hour. Then every so often you'll get a whiff of it. It's still fairly linear, it will still smell pretty much as it did when you initially sprayed it. But for me, after a couple of hours, I don't really sense this on myself anymore. I go nose blind to this, and all Prada fragrances weirdly do the same thing to me. But it's still there, it's still pumping away, doing its thing in the background. Other people will smell it, other people will still compliment you on it, so it's still, you know, still doing what it needs to. I think that's pretty much everything that we can say about this fragrance, Prada Luna Rossa Sport. As with the last video I did show you the box at the end. I will do the exact same thing with this one as well. It's just what you would expect really. It's your standard fare box, just move that to one side. And the box really kind of mirrors the design of the bottle. Red at the bottom, silver design, trademark Prada red strip down the middle. That's the Prada Luna Rossa range, which you used to get on Prada Luna Rossa clothes many years ago. I've not seen them for a long time, although I don't pay much attention to sort of high-end fashion anymore. I don't shop at Harvey Nichols like I used to in my youth. Don't have the means to. I don't have the desire to either anymore. But yeah, that's the box, that's what you get in the presentation. My box is a little bit beat up now because I've had this fragrance for, as I said before, I think about 3 years. And that's really it, that's my 2 penny worth on this subject. If you want to comment on this fragrance, please do so below. And please also look out for my other videos, it's very much appreciated when you do tune in. And I'll see you soon, and as I say, thank you for watching once again.